Before I show you my 5 favorite vivariums of 2025, I just wanted to share with you my morning routine, what I do on a daily basis to maintain these animals. And it usually starts like this. Hey Siri, timer 1 minut. Poop scooping. The poop scooper. I am the poop scooper. Let's move on to the roosters. Yeah. Okay. Don't attack me. Akta. Whoa. Okay. Even more poop. Shh. Oh, let's have some backyard chicken. It will be fun, I promise you. And now, how do I get out of here? Achtung! Akta! Akta! Let's quickly get out of here before they attack me again. Ah! Such a beautiful sky this morning. You want some food, Mina? Hey, let me just wash my poop hands. You don't want chicken poop in your food. Assassino. See? Ooh. Suama sta il re. Can't wait to show you this one. Still needs a misting system. Right. Oh shit. Yesterday I filmed something super cool happening in this tank and it's already gone. It was some sort of fungi or some weird organism that just appeared and then disappeared. Why do crested geckos poop on the glass? I keep cleaning poop, that's my job. Hey. This is gonna change in the next year. We're gonna do something totally different, something easier, something that doesn't need constant trimming, but still looks majestic. Same thing with this one. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't get a Michelin star, you know? If you were to judge it like a Michelin inspector, the rocks should have been much more interesting. The middle rock is too big, the hills aren't steep enough. It's not following the natural flows or the Iwagumi laws. I got this for Christmas. I moved the ember tetras that were living in here to the big red, and this has just become a plant trimming tank. But it actually looks pretty good. There's no hardscape, just Limnophila and Rotala Hra. This got me thinking that I should probably try to do a Dutch style scape. Dutch style is just plants, nothing else. This one I'm gonna keep going because I like it. I do want perhaps some fish in here that wouldn't harm the shrimp, because the shrimp are all behind, grazing on biofilm in the back, constantly spilling water everywhere. And Sam is doing fantastically great. Let's feed him. He's starting to enjoy the fish pellets as well. In the beginning he didn't like the fish pellets. I went to the Reptile expo here in Malmo and I didn't get any reptiles, but I got some insects. Here we got some feeder dubia roaches. There's like 1 million inside. And we got 2 of those. I don't know why I got 2 of those. I ain't got that many reptiles that eat dubia roaches, but I did also get something super unnecessary. These are the Procletipus ornate velvet roach. Why did I get these, you ask? I have no idea. They costed 400 crowns, which is like 40 euro. But we have also got some black beauty stick insects. I got a pair of those. I mean 2 pair of those. They're pretty cool. Where are you going? So I was thinking that the cockroaches can live in here until I figure out what I want to do with them. Oh, they can climb glass. I wasn't expecting that. And I was thinking to keep the black beauty insects in here. Alright, first one in. Come on, big boy. Slip. Super temporary, ugly enclosure, but just for me to learn a bit more about these beasts. That's nice. I can't believe how much has happened in 1 year. When we moved from the city to the countryside, I wanted 3 things: backyard chicken, a pond, and a basement full of exotic animals. I got to fulfill a lifelong vision. And not to sound like a cliche, but this is all thanks to you watching my videos. Also the support from my family, my patient girlfriend listening to me rambling all day about my next project. She's also the one making my thumbnails. I have selected 5 of my favorite Vivariums of 2025. With that, I wish you a happy new year and I see you next year. So you're thinking about building a Paludarium, but what exactly is that? Let's take a moment to understand what it actually means. The word Paludarium comes from the Latin word palus, meaning swamp. Similar to what we have right here. So spoken in the common tongue, it's basically a swamparium. Swampinarium or swamparium? Swamparium. I think swamparium sounds better. A type of vivarium with both land and water. This is my favorite kind of ecosystem because you can combine plants and animals that live both in and out of the water. I'm heading out into nature with no plan at all to collect hardscape, to gather plants, and let the environment guide the design. If you've ever wanted to create your own little living world, here is where it begins. Today we're outside in Sweden. It's raining like crazy right now, so can't really do anything at the moment. We're gonna go past that bridge and we're gonna collect some sticks, some rocks, some hardscape, and some plants. Oh, this is stinging nettles. And I need to get down there somehow. think I just found a school of sleeping tadpoles. Look, they're all sleeping. Let's go a bit closer. This piece of wood is quite unique. There's some snails on it. It has some weird insects, but it's quite unique because I like this bow right here. So this one we're gonna bring home. And the rocks here are also pretty cool. This one has some red in it. This one we're definitely gonna bring home. Let's put these in the bag. See, I have these quite rough plastic bags with me. But I basically just put it in this evidence bag. It's actually a vacuum bag. You see, when I look for pieces, I want them to have character. I want them to stand out. I want it to have some crevices, some holes, something interesting. These things are definitely interesting, and they're heavy. Let's continue. And what I love about these rocks, I don't think you can see it in this light, but they're like red, wine red. So what I'm doing now is just collecting some smaller rocks. Whoa. And when you're doing this, make sure that you're allowed to do it. I know the owners of this area, so it's okay. This is essentially what we're trying to create today. A pile of rocks that holds back the land area underneath the water. And I think I found something quite cool here. This is like a mussel. This could be a cool detail. Just a little cool detail for the water section. Another mussel. Beautiful. This is beautiful. Look at it. Look at all these tangly, spindly parts. Oh, wow. Look at that ram's horn. I didn't know there were ram's horn snails in this little river right here. There's nothing inside, so this will just be for decoration. Walking around like this made me feel like a kid. I mean, there's nothing in the world that inspires me like nature does. After all, that's what we're trying to recreate here. Now let's get back to the studio and assemble the Swampinarium. This is what I like to call the mise en place, which in French means everything on its place. This term is usually used in the kitchen. Before you start cooking your dish, you take out everything that you need, everything from tools to cleaning supplies to the ingredients. And this truly makes the world of a difference. Because if it's messy on your station, it's messy in your head. The ingredients for this Paludarium are leca as drainage layer, mosquito net as a divider, soil mix, which consists of organic topsoil, sand and super small leca. But you can definitely use just topsoil. No need to overcomplicate this. Dried oak leaves as food for the cleanup crew. Cheap white sand, but you can use any kind of sand that you like. A clay mix, which is topsoil and aqua soil worked together into a paste using some water. The plants from before, including the moss, hardscape, meaning the sticks and stones. And finally, the details. Now this process is very messy, so make sure you prepare your cleaning tools as well. I always like to have my trash bag nearby, some paper, this is the spray to keep the plants from drying out. I have some gloves, towels, and this thing, a vacuum cleaner. Now this particular vacuum cleaner can suck out both water and soil, so it's a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Best purchase of my life. You don't want to get started and you spill something and then you have to walk all over it. Instead you can just grab the vacuum cleaner, suck it up immediately and get going. This is the aquarium we're going to use today. This is an old aquarium, it's probably 20 years old. A friend of mine had it in the garage and he was cleaning it out and said, hey, do you want an aquarium? Otherwise I toss it. And chances are that somebody have an aquarium just like this in the garage. What I like about this is that it has a light and it has a lid. So it's perfect for vampire crabs, which is exactly what we're gonna build today. It's not the prettiest thing you can have, but it's convenient. First, I'm laying down a foam mat to protect the glass from the stones. You know, every stone has a face, so I'm trying to front the best sides. Here comes the hardest part. Make the roots look like they've been there for years. It's important to close the gaps in between the rocks with some filter floss. This stops the leca from rolling into the foreground. I remove the roots and fill in the back with leca. It's important that the leca is above the water line. You don't want the soil sitting in the water. On top goes the divider that divides the drainage from the substrate. This is mosquito net. You can find this in any hardware store. When you add the substrate, make sure to slope it to the back. This creates an illusion of depth. The moss will act as an edge, stopping the substrate from falling into the water. The clay mixture will act as a background and ties everything together. Make sure to add a thick layer. Now it's all up to you to decorate the Swamparium however you want. This is my Chinese cave gecko, Zelda. She's been living in this tiny enclosure for way too long now. When I built it, I told her, this is only temporary. Soon I'll build you a proper home. So today I'm keeping that promise. I'm building her a bioactive mossarium with multiple caves, a shallow water feature with a misty mountain feel. And today we're working with another Exoterra terrarium. This is the extra tall large one, which is 90, 45, 90, 36, 18, 36 inches. The inspiration for the scape came from this guy. He made this majestic aquarium with an amazing sense of depth, a mysterious cave, and he used my favorite rock, Dragonstone. So naturally I sold my kidney and I bought an absurd amount of it and got ready to aquascape. So the terrarium is on the floor right now. And right down there I have all the things that I need to make the background. You can see I've made a rough scape of what I want-ish. And to be honest, the rocks are a little bit too thick, so I want to go out and smash them a little bit. I don't need it to be this thick. So if I just take this thingy and the hammer thingy, hammer, like that. See, now I have a much more workable piece. Now that we smashed the Dragonstone, it covers a whole lot more surface area. And together with the styrofoam, expanding foam and silicone, we're gonna make a 3D background. So our primary goal now is to make a foundation of styrofoam. It's actually pretty comfortable here. So I want to integrate this little cave, almost exactly like that. So now I'm gonna build styrofoam as a hill coming down like this. So it's now the next day. As you can see, everything is cured. Behind me in this mess, I have all the rocks laid out. Somehow, I'm gonna transfer these rocks to the background here. And I'm just gonna lay them out like this. And then, foam in around amongst them. I'm happy about this area right here. This is looking good. I'm not sure about what to do here yet, so I think I'm just gonna foam this. So it is now the next day, and as you can see, the terrarium is in place right next to Rambo, my crested gecko. I've taken the liberty to carve the background because that's just me putting the knife in, taking a piece of foam out. It's really thick background, and some people might say, why did you make it so thick? It's taking up all the space. But I did that on purpose because now what I can do is I can carve it out exactly the shape that I want, and I can also carve out extra caves. As you can see down here, see, this was just foam all the way out here. Of course, we're gonna cover all this ugly styrofoam with clay and then put some soil inside. If you look here, we have an entrance to a cave here, which has an entrance also up here. So we have two entrances to this cave, and we also have a cave right here. If we look at the enclosures side by side, you can see that this one is brighter, more green, more vivid. And this one is a bit darker, more blue-red colorish to it. They actually have the same light on top, which is the Fluval Plant 3. You can choose the color temperatures. So if you just want it blue, you can do that. Red, you can do that if you want it cold white. This is pure white. A warm white. I like the warm white, but I'm gonna set it to maybe 50%. Pure white, we're only gonna have 15%. And cold white, we're gonna maximize. Blue, we're gonna have at, excuse me, at 50%, and red, full. We can control it with this app. It's called the Fluval Smart app. You just go in here and press Zelda, which is this tank. And you can just customize it however you want, you see? But we can't just leave the background looking like this. We need to seamlessly blend in the foam, and we're gonna do that with a specific kind of clay. This is called water lily clay, and it's just basically glacial clay from the Ice Age. And they've collected it, and now they use it as, pond lilies in the pots in the water. They put this clay. But you can also use it to cover your background. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. It's actually been a few weeks now since I even touched this tank, and we have a little bit of foam action going on here. I needed to add a new rock here, so I attached it with some white foam. I'm just gonna let this cure, carve it off, and then cover it up with some clay. So today's task is to actually finish the ground area. We're gonna have a little shallow water area here. First thing we're gonna add in is the drainage layer, which of course you know is the bio drain from Exoterra. It has gran capacidad de drenaje. Meaning that it had great draining capabilities. This is basically lava rock, so it's very lightweight, it is porous, so beneficial bacteria can colonize in these little holes inside the rocks. So yeah, let's get this in first. With the gran capacidad de drenaje installed, we're gonna add another terrarium thingy, which is BioDrain terrarium draining mesh. You know, we're gonna separate the drainage layer from the substrate. So we have this slick design, you know, with the Exoterra logo, always, yo. Speaking of substrate, I have a good mixture of things here. So we got the Exoterra cocoa husk going in. We have the Exoterra coconut fiber, and also have some cichlid sand. You don't have to use cichlid sand because it's very expensive, so I don't know why I'm using it. But you can use just normal play sand. Yep. I don't have a recipe, I always wing it. The goal is to have great drainage and great nutrients. Let's just add it to the tank and see how it looks like. So I have these flat patches of moss that I'm going to attach using these. And I made these metal clips with just some stainless wire. Just bend them over my finger and cut it. So if I take this big patch of moss, I think I want it right in the middle. But it's not gonna hold like that. So to hold that in place, since this is foam behind the clay, I can just grab this little metal wire and just place it into the foam like that, and it will stay in place, just like that. In some places I don't need to put the wire, like here, I can just wedge it in between the rock and the little background. Here I don't think I need to add anything, I can just lay it on top like that. Is it just me, or do we get a little Shire vibe here? Kinda looks like the Shire from Lord of the Rings. I mean, this made a huge difference. But it's like Borat says, in my country we go crazy for this. But this, not so much. So to make Borat happy, I think we need to slope it, and then we add like a moss carpet in the front. Very nice. I really think that made a difference. High five! It's really important now to keep this moss from drying out. And speaking of moistidity, down here we have a misting system. And of course it's the Monsoon 2 from Exoterra. We have the tank that can hold 8 liters of water, or like 2 gallons of USA. And of course we have the pump / lid, in which you need to add this little tubing that has a little stone here that acts as a filter. And it's important to use only reverse osmosis water for 2 reasons in this case. Number 1, you don't get any ugly stains on the glass. Actually 3 reasons. You don't get ugly stains on the glass, you don't clog up your system with minerals, and you don't damage the moss, because I've heard that moss doesn't really like tap water. Okay, we need to connect it to some electricity. But before you do that, connect the system, otherwise it starts spraying here now. Right, so this one will go up here now. And then you just press it into this blue thingy. I want it to mist every 4 hours for, let's do a minute. It's gonna take a little while to get it going. on the soie bleu. Now you can angle the nozzles how you want them. This one is angled like that. We kind of have a trifecta of misting power going in. Exoterra Germany recently released a new product. And the new product that they have released is this humidifier. And how good does it look on this tank? It looks so mysterious, like the mystical misty mountains of The Hobbit. And watch what happens when I open it. But there's still one thing we need to do. And that's to fix this situation. See, here I have all the crushed dragon stones. I have some crushed lava rocks, I have some gravel, and I have some sand. I think with all these elements we could make something look seamless with the scape. So first of all, I think I need to rearrange everything here. Right, I'm gonna try to extract Zelda now from her tank. She's usually in this cave right here. I'm gonna do this very carefully, not to startle her too much. There she is. Let's leave her alone for her to settle in peacefully. To tell you the truth, I never planned to get the cave gecko. One of my food suppliers at the restaurant asked if I wanted to take over the care for Zelda, and I just couldn't say no. This has been a fun and challenging project. I hope Zelda will enjoy her retirement home. She hasn't explored the top of the tank yet, but I'm sure she will soon. She just needs some time to feel comfortable and safe. The humidifier is connected to a hygrostat, so it's not constantly on, only when the humidity drops too low. I want to give a huge thanks to Exoterra for sponsoring this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace. I've had my leopard gecko for 2 years now, and once a year I've had this habit of building him a new home. But Arturo is around 16 years old and tired of moving. He needs a place where he can retire and enjoy his pension. Testing, take 1. Here's a few things I've learned keeping a leopard gecko for 2 years. Number 1. They're active during the night, at least mine is. So that means if I cannot see the leopard gecko during the day, it's very important for me that the tank is beautiful to look at. I don't really enjoy this tank anymore. Number 2. Arturo always poops in the same spot. I've been lucky he did his business in this front corner, always in the same spot. But then all of a sudden, he stopped. This tank has a cave system with a connecting tunnel that I built using some balloons and clay. I had quite a lot of questions on how I cleaned this tank and what would happen if he went number 2 in the tunnel. Which he probably has. The caves aren't very accessible. In fact, you cannot access them at all. So that's something I want to address in the new setup. I want to have caves that I can clean. Number 3. Arturo has food preferences. One of his favorite foods are superworms. For some reason, he doesn't like crickets. I think it's because whenever he gets near the cricket, the antennas of the cricket tickles him and he gets put off. Let's try to fish him out of the cave so I can put him in a temporary home while we build. There he comes. Sorry, Arturo. Now we can get a good look at him. I don't know what kind of morph he is. I would say normal leopard gecko. Number 4. Leopard geckos enjoy multiple heights, so I will be integrating 3 different hides at 3 different heights at 3 different levels of humidity. This way, he can choose his environments depending on his needs. Let's clean up this tank in 3, 2, 1. Number 5 is a controversial topic. Do leopard geckos need UVB? Some people say yes, absolutely, while other people say it's totally unnecessary. I say it's better to offer it to him and him not using it rather than him needing it and not having it. If that makes sense. Number 6.
When it comes to heat, I have a ceramic heater hooked up to a thermostat. And this is also a controversial topic, because some people say you need under tank heat, while other people say you need over tank heat. This system has worked fine for me, so I'm gonna keep on doing that. Let me know what you think. I have these spare pieces of background that I want to attach to the sides. We're gonna do that using some silicone. This now needs to dry for a while, but obviously it's not gonna look like this because we're gonna match everything together, make the background look seamless. I started roughing up the styrofoam so the clay would stick better to it. Now let's go outside and prepare the clay. And make sure to do this outside because it's really, really dusty. Just to speed up the process, you know? Speaking of speed, okay, this is why it's best to do it outside, because it smokes. And then we just empty it into this bucket and press play. I don't recommend doing this with your mom or your girlfriend's mixer. This is mine and it's a Blendtec, you know, high speed. This can blend a golf ball if I wanted to. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with aqua soil. This was mostly to break the aqua soil grains. There are some still intact, but it doesn't really matter. All we need to do now is to mix this and add some water. But the point is to cover this now with this clay mixture and make it look more natural. Covering the orange background was a bit painful because I put a lot of effort into building that one. But I think it looks pretty nice. At the moment it just looks dark, but we're gonna bring this to life with some botanicals and some plants. First, drainage layer. So these are called Leica clay balls. They are gonna serve as a drainage layer. If I water too much, the water won't stay in the substrate. But I left an edge here because they're really ugly to look at. I mean, I don't want that against the glass. So instead I'm gonna add some substratum, and it's a volcanic substrate, but you can also use it as a drainage layer like I'm doing here. To keep the substrate from mixing with the leca, I added some wheat fabric. And finally, the substrate, which is a mix of topsoil, sand, substratum, and oak leaves. Here we have the 3 heights that I have selected. This one is gonna be right here in the top. It's gonna be the more drier one. This one is gonna be in the middle, and this one down low. At this point, I could finally see my vision coming to life. After hours of shifting things around, this is what I ended up with. In the top corner we have the basking spot with the heat light hooked to the thermostat. This is the hot, high and dry hide. This is the medium hide. This is the low and cold hide. I'm realizing now that these hides aren't very accessible either. I guess I just got caught up in the creative process. I mean, who knows, maybe Arturo will use his poop corner again.
Hi there, how do you do?
Now this is a story all about how I built my Brazilian rainbow boa a huge paludarium. Using a revolutionary method to build the background, the water section and the hide with a removable lid for easy poop access. Because there's no beast out there with smellier poop than Pamela. Well, yes, there is this guy, I guess. Today Pamela finally gets the home she truly deserves. So right now Pamela is living down there, but soon she's going to move up to this enclosure. This used to be where my green basilisk lived. So this is a Reptile knockdown terrarium, meaning that the base is basically an aquarium and then we have 4 poles in each corner containing 5 panels of glass. But before Pamela can move in, we'd have to change the background. We can clearly see here that the silicone has been peeled off when I removed some branches. But not only that, eventually the silicone and cocoa fiber doesn't hold up. There's a whole playlist of how I built this enclosure if you want to see how I set it up for my green basilisk. I'll link it down in the description. So the job of today is to dismantle this and get started on the background. First of all, we need to remove the screws in each corner. And then I disconnect the misting system. Remove the lights. I then dismantled the enclosure piece by piece until I was left with the base. Rainbow boas are basically mini anacondas, so a water section is vital. I'll divide the tank so that the third is water and the rest is land, using a piece of glass. So we have the backgrounds laid out here in front of us. There's a lot of gunk on it, a lot of clay, a lot of things that I just want to wash off. And then we can see what we're working with. So I'm just gonna grab this carefully. I'm gonna lay it here on leaves. This actually looks quite artistic, with the leaf background. So the backgrounds are all washed and clean now, but I came up with a more brilliant solution. I realized that you can just pull off the silicone and the cocoa fiber. It oddly feels like skin, like I'm flaying somebody. I've recently watched the Ed Gein series on Netflix.
Oh, hi there, how do you do?
So I just finished removing all of the silicone from the background, and I've also, as you can see here, this yellow tape taped off all the edges. Please ignore my messy garage. But on this shelf we have the product that we're gonna use today. And this is a moldable decoration concrete from a company called Make. And what's special about this concrete is that it's 3 times stronger than normal concrete. And you can get it to a clay-like consistency, so you can shape it, mold it, however you like. What I'm gonna do now is to mix it with water. I'm gonna get it very loose and spreadable, so we can first add the first layer. And when the first layer is dried, we can then add a decorative layer, which will be the one where we can actually shape it and create whatever we want. Yeah. So if you're in Europe or in the UK, you can actually order these products from Denmark. They're currently working on a website for international orders. If you want to try this out, click the link in the description and then send them an email. Tell them, hey man, Terracoman sent me and he told me that I should send you an email explaining my tank setup and what I want, and then they'll help you figure out the perfect kit just for you. I use this, it's very useful actually. Then you simply just start on a low setting, because otherwise it skids everywhere. See, it skids everywhere. Hey dum dum, you give me gum gum. And when you have the perfect consistency, make sure to mix it for 3 minutes. So it's really incorporated, you know. Yeah. So once you have your desired consistency, what you do is with your hands, but of course you need gloves because this is very irritating for the skin. What you do is simply just slap it on. Just like that. You see, that's why I wanted it very easily spreadable. I'm sitting here making a background for my terrarium, but you can also make a background for your aquarium. You can make a vase for your mom. You can make a pumpkin for Halloween. You can make an elf for Christmas. You know, whatever you want. This is what they use in zoos, man. This is the bee's knees. There's literally no limit to what you can make. I'm gonna finish this and I'll see you tomorrow when everything is dried. The next day I added the second layer. I made sure to add a thick layer about 2 to 3 centimeters, where I wanted really pronounced details. About 3 to 4 hours later, the concrete had hardened, but not dried completely. This is the perfect time to add details. I used a trusty nail to do this, but on Make's website you can find the right tools for the job.
Alright, so it's now the next day and everything is rock solid. Only thing is that I have made too many of these lines. It can look a bit man-made if you're not careful. Before I put them back on the enclosure, we need to add the color fix with pigments.
Color fix is basically liquid acrylic. It comes in half-liter bottles up to 5-liter jugs.
Color fix is particularly suitable for most absorbent surfaces, such as concrete, plaster, Paris, textiles. Mix up 100 milliliter pigment with 250 milliliter color fix for a saturated paint.
I mix the color fix with yellow and brown.
And then we just mix this thoroughly. See what we get. Okay, we have a nice brown color. It's very simple. All you need to do is paint it. The great thing about this is that if you paint it completely and then you realize, oh no, I want it pink instead, or black, or a different color, you can do that. You can just paint over it.
As I applied the color to the background, I realized that it was a bit too orange for my taste. But as I said, no need to worry. Simply tweak the mix with darker pigments until you're satisfied. It takes a bit of trial and error. The following day, I removed the tape and installed a new background. I applied some concrete in between the panels to make it look seamless. While the concrete was curing, I did a water test, which came out positive. The next day, I painted the seams. Now we can start on the water section. I started by siliconing 2 pieces of styrofoam, one to the side and one to the back. Next, I added the concrete. The following day, I detailed it. The day after that, I painted it. And finally, using the dry brush technique and a brighter color, I added some highlights. Now the background is ready, which means we can move on to the 2-part drainage layer. In the bottom, I use classic Leica balls. To stop pump from entering the drainage layer, I'm using plastic floor tiles that I line with mosquito net secured in place with zip ties. The goal is to have a long-lasting, nutrient-dense and well-draining substrate. In attempt to achieve this, I mix organic topsoil, sand, cocoa husk, substratum, gravel and leaf litter. I added the leftover sand in the water section, but for now I didn't have enough. Now let's move on to hardscaping. This stick used to be in Leo's tank, so to honor him, it's going to stay here. To diffuse the line where land meets water, I use a cork tube. This also doubles as a hide for Pamela.
Yeah, so we now got some good anchor points here, but we're gonna need branches all over here so she can really use the vertical space. So I think we need to go to the woods. But before we do that, we can also take a look already in Pamela's tank, because we have some good branches. For instance, this one, the big boy in the back here. This one's gonna be difficult to get out because, no, okay. It's already full of life on this. This cork bark can be utilized as another hide if we kind of dig down here as far as it goes. And then this, we can kind of dig it down also. So yeah, we got a lot of things going on here. We need something up here as well.
I kept rearranging the sticks for a few days, and here's what I finally came up with. The plan was to use a variety of plants, but I decided to only use 2 for now: ferns and moss. To me, it looks more natural in this case. I use the same concept in the water section. I won't be using any plants that require a nutrient-dense substrate. Instead, I'll use sand and gravel. Scaping the water section, I have to keep in mind that it's for a large snake. So I can't go too crazy and take up too much space. These aquatic plants are epiphytes, meaning that they draw nutrients from the water column. This allows me to jam them in between rocks or superglue them directly to the rocks.
So as the water section is clearing up,
we're gonna build Pamela's new hide. And I've drawn inspiration from this tree stump right here that I found near my house. And here you can see a very detailed sketch on how it's gonna be. It's gonna be 20 centimeters high, 35 centimeters long, and 25 centimeters deep. The skeleton of the hide is gonna be styrofoam, but covered with Make's concrete, of course. This morning I received a new cool gadget from Make. If you're a person that regularly cuts styrofoam, this is very handy. This is a styrofoam cutter. Now, in theory, we should just be able to slice this like butter. Oh, mamma mia. This is so satisfying. Okay, a quick disclaimer. You see all this smoke? I'm gonna use this mask, but I'm also going to open the garage. You don't want to do this inside. I've seen people doing this inside and it's not recommended. After cutting the styrofoam, I glued it together with hot glue and started shaping the hide. Here's the result. Looks like this time I wanted the concrete in a clay-like consistency, so I'll mix up 5 parts concrete to 1 part water. So it's now the next day, and as you can see, it has completely changed color. That is why I went over with this file, you know, especially inside to smooth it out, because some of the surfaces was very rough. And we don't want the snake to damage her scales. After smoothing the hide, I colored it with more or less the same color as the background. The next day, as I tried to add it to the tank, I realized it was too big and not to mention ugly. So off camera, I built a smaller and simpler hide. But first, let's snake test it. Great success! With everything finally in its place, I could now add springtails. They will help keep mold in check. And isopods will eat decaying matter. Together they become the cleanup crew of this tank. I recently took down the Blackwater Neon Tetra tank, and in my Green Basilisk previous tank I used to have some guppies, snails and shrimp, and everybody is in this container. Let's add them. Alright, so it's now been 2 weeks since we set this up, and a few things has happened. For one, some of the plants are suffering, or to be honest, all of them are suffering.
I think ferns, when you move them, especially like I've been doing, like taking them out, putting them back in, scaping, rearranging, taking them from nature, putting them into a hot enclosure from cold outside. But for now I want to add Pamela to the tank and see how she interacts with the tank and see if she's gonna trample all the plants and destroy the whole setup. It's official, Pamela is moving. I'm so excited. So I have a GoPro here, we have the camera there, and here we have the iPhone. Right. Let's grab her. She has completely messed up her hide. And here she is. The one and only Pamelina. Alright, here we go. Let's see what she does. So you can see now the fog is kind of collecting inside of the tank, which is optimal for sense of humidity in the tank and for the plants. But I can actually hook this up to a hygrostat that controls the humidity. So it's when it reaches 90 or 80% or 70 or whatever you want to put it to, it automatically turns off. Or I can set it to a timer so it comes on, you know, every half an hour just for a few minutes to fog it up, and then it goes away. Why am I still wearing this? So I was just standing here editing, and then I turned over and I see that Pamela has moved. You can see she's actually emerging from the soil and then going down into the hide. So let's say it's maintenance day and I just want to check and see if she's pooped inside the hide. All I have to do is to grab this fern piece, put it to the side, and then I simply lift the lid. Let's remove it. And there she is, inside her new custom-built hide. And she's freaking out because she thought she was safe, and this is probably not a good thing to do, so let's not bother her.
A couple of years ago, I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a picture that instantly caught my attention. Wow! A school of ghost fish swimming in between red, vibrant plants. Oh, wow. Something in me just couldn't let this go. I had to recreate this in my studio. So to realize this vision, I first need an aquarium. I found one that comes with a cabinet. Annoying as an IKEA furniture to assemble, but once you're all sweaty, frustrated, have cursed in every language you know, yet somehow you still manage to put it together, it's worth it. With its contemporary design, equipped with a little neat basket, hook for your favorite towel, and a convenient mini shelf for late night snacks. This set also comes with 2 fluval LED lights with Plant 3.0 technology that you can app control to set a timer, intensity and color spectrum. You also get an external filter with multi-stage filtration.
So yeah. Oh, me know. Hey, come on. See.
Anyway, the filter connects from underneath the aquarium, with the hoses nicely tucked into the cabinet. Finally, a heater which I don't need because I heat the room. This is the Fluval Sienna 332 liter. The second thing I need is a good substrate for the plants. I'm using Fluval Biostratum.
It says some stuff in German that I don't understand. Stimulates strong plant growth. Yeah, that's English actually. I think we got a good layer of soil now and we can finally start scaping. And right in front of the aquarium we have some Redmore root that we're going to use for the scape. I have already selected at least these 2 pieces. I want to have these 2 pieces. I'm just going to chuck them inside and see how it looks. My vision was to have something coming down from here and then another piece like that. I need to tweak it a little bit more, but I think I have a rough idea of what I want. This is the view from this side. Obviously these man-made cuts are not very pretty, so I have to put like a rock here or something. These have more like a thick vibe to it. This is just too wild. This is too spindly for me. This is the new ADA Sakura stone. No, just kidding, I took this from my garden. Maybe this rock is just made to be here.
After literally days of shifting things around, I was finally happy with the scape. This wood has never been soaked before, so to keep it from floating, I have to glue it down.
And to glue everything together, we're going to use liquid type super glue with some paper towels. You simply take a piece of paper towel, roll it up into a little ball, and you find a contact point and you saturate it with super glue. It's very important that you take your time here and don't rush this process, because there's nothing worse than filling up a tank and then the hardscape floats.
To really highlight the aquascape, I decided to put on a black background. This will also make the red plants stand out even more.
Actually almost been a week now since we filled it up with water, and we're doing something called a dark start.
A dark start is often used in aquascaping when you have wood that might release tannins and this white annoying fungus. This way you give it time to stabilize, you can easily clean it, and you minimize the risk of plant melt.
We're gonna turn on the light just briefly to see what's happened. Boom. It's pretty misty, it's pretty cloudy. And if we zoom in on that little piece of wood right there, you see that there's some slime growing on the wood. And that's the main reason why I want to do a dark start. So when this slime appears, I can just scrub it off, do a water change.
We're now on day 14, we still have a lot of tannins and there's still a lot of fungus on the wood. I repeat this cleaning once a week, and this time I upgraded my game by pumping out the water directly through the window into my garden. 3 weeks in now. On. Oh baby. Ah, it's like Coca-Cola. I really thought that by week 3 the tannins would be gone. But boy was I wrong. The tannins kept persisting, even after day 30. So did the wood gunk. Imagine if I had fish in here. How much this cleaning would stress them out. Even though it killed me to be patient, I'm glad I did a dark start. The dark start is officially over. It's been a little bit more than 5 weeks. Today's my birthday and I have a sushi night planned with my girlfriend. But this arrived. There's like a million plants in here that are probably gonna die if I keep them in here over the night. This box came all the way from Dennerle Plants in Germany, containing a variety of red plants. Little did I know, I had ordered way too many. I'm actually very excited to open this. There's so many plants in here. This is a nice shrimp cave if you have shrimp. What is this? I thought it was truffles. You know, I'm a chef. When we order truffles, they come like this. This is the red lotus that is gonna go somewhere in the middle. And as soon as you put them under water, they sprout and the leaves come out of them. Ooh, baby. This plant is Limnophila hippiporoides. Who comes up with these names? Right now it's green, but you know, if you give the good light and the CO2, it gets really red. Here we have Rotala rundifolia, H. raw, so the hra. Alternantera reiniki red ruby. We have even more plants. Oh, baby, this is crazy. Ludwigia repens rubin, also becomes a rubin color. The Alternantera reiniki mini, so this is going to be placed in the foreground. We got Alternantera reiniki red, and then we have the Ludwigia plustris super red. And the plan is to make a real nice jungle in the back of only red plants. This is making me a little bit nervous, to be honest, because there's a whole lot of plants in here that needs to be planted. And yeah, sushi night has to wait until I'm done with this. I'm just gonna sit here, make myself comfortable, and start prepping the plants. In the kitchen, we call this the mise en place. Simply just take it out, remove the label, remove all this. This is called rock wool. What really helps is to have a little fork, and then you can just scrape off the rock wool like this. Here we have a prepped plant. This is the idea for the tank. As you can see, we have the Rotala H. raw in the front as a carpet. And then we have all the different stem plants. I don't remember all their names. And then we have the lotus here. The lotus I just want to be in the middle here randomly, climbing up towards the surface. These plants are the background plants. This is the foreground, midground, and also kind of midground. Yeah, I'm just gonna get going and then we'll see what happens. It's now the next day, and as you can see, the plants are all looking up right now. The tank is looking immense. It's wicked, man. We need to feed these plants, so I really need to add the CO2 and also some liquid fertilizers. This is the Fluval Bio CO2 250. It's slightly too small for this, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. We crank it up to the maximum. I then mix the activator with the booster, sugar, water, attach the diffuser and add it to the tank. 24 hours later, we have CO2. We have a nice CO2-ness going on here. Now, how do we know if we got the right amount of CO2? Well, we can use a drop checker with 15 drops of a magical solution that turns green when you have that good CO2. Yellow, too much. Green, perfect. Blue, not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's perfect. So it's now actually been a few days since we added the CO2. Today I'm going to drop the water level halfway, so we do a water change. And then I'm going to cut all this H. raw and replant it. Maybe 2 or 3 times. In some areas they're longer. I should have done this before, but as we discussed, sushi night came. I had to do it rushly.
Now let's sit back, relax, and let nature do its thing.
So it's now been 3 weeks since we added the CO2, and it's a disaster. I mean, there's good news and bad news. Obviously, the bad news is the algae on the glass, on the plants, and on the hardscape. But if we ignore the algae for just 1 second, you can see we have some new growth on the hra. This is the underwater growth, and it's even turning pink. And you can see back there the Ludwigia super red is turning super red, and we also have growth that is all the way up to the top here with this plant. But yeah, let's first remove the algae.
With the tank so fresh and so clean, it's time for a trim and replant. My vision is slowly becoming reality. However,
There's still a lot of algae left, but I got a plan for that.
it's time to send in the cleanup crew. 10 Amana shrimp, 5 Otocinclus, and 2 Siamese algae eaters will work day and night to clean up the rest of the algae.
So it's been a few weeks now, and the plants are going crazy. What really makes me glad is the lotus has finally reached the top. But this plant is taking over, so we need to do something about that.
I think I just have to be brutal and rip them out by the stem. I mean by the root.
It's been a month now since I touched this tank, and it's already getting close to needing a new trimming session. A fantastic thing happened the other day. I don't know if you can see this little thing here on the glass, but it's actually an Otocinclus baby.
That being said, there are a few things that I do not like. There are still some tannins in the water, that's why it has this tint. So I have to do another water change. I mean, if you compare it to how it used to look like Coca-Cola. The thing that annoys me most is that the plants are not red enough. I think that the lights provided in this tank is just not powerful enough for what I want. Obviously, they can grow plants just fantastically fine, but I need something way more powerful. And I actually reached out to a company called Skylight, and they sent me their most powerful light.
Let me introduce you to the Skylight Hyperspot FL.
This is one of the best lights on the market. Probably the most beautiful. It comes in 3 different sizes. You get a mesmerizing shimmer effect on your wall, and best of all, you don't get blinded by it.
This light is extremely powerful. This is normally used in aquascaping contests. So if this light cannot do what I need to do with this tank, I think no light can. Oof. Oh yes, look at that. This is what we got straight out of the box. We got the hanging kit, we got some manuals, we got the power cord. Now I want to remove the plastic from it.
That's beautiful light.
Oh baby. So in the hanging kit we get 2 of these, and there's a screw here, there's a screw here, and the thing is that it should be attached here and here. So first we need to remove the screws. Then they go inside like this. metal wire has a stopper at one end. On the other end, I'll thread the bolt until it reaches said stopper. Now do you see this thing right here? It has a thing that you can push down. So if you thread the cable, it stops it. But then if you push it down, you can actually adjust the height. Then I'll drill 2 holes in the ceiling. Add the plugs and screw in the screws. Finally, I mount the light. Alright, so this is before skylight and this is after. 3, 2, 1.
Oh baby!
The next day I went to the fish store and I got the ghost fish.
Acclimation time is over. Let's add in these bad boys. Here they come. Oh baby! There's 10 of them. They're all in. And they all went hiding.
I even got a school of X-ray tetras to act as a ditherfish, making the ghost fish feel more comfortable. But it didn't work. The ghost fish kept hiding. I didn't see them for weeks, so I doubled my odds and I got 10 more. And after 8 months of patience, I was finally rewarded with this. I can't tell you how happy I am to watch something I had waited for so long materialize. Patience has really paid off, and a little too well, I might add. The tank was now completely overgrown, so I had to get brutal again and rip most of the plants out and replant them more strategically. The plants also went through a massive melt, and the H-raw got stunted growth. I couldn't figure out why though. I had the best light available, nutrient-dense substrate, I was dosing fertilizer and CO2, so I tested the water, and the TDS of my tap water was over 800. Most plants prefer softer water. So for the past month, I've been gradually changing the water, replacing some of it with pure reverse osmosis water.
So let's now measure the TDS. 155. I would say that's perfect.
And I can see a huge difference now. Some of the plants didn't make it at all. The alternantheras are still struggling, while repens rubin and hippoporoides are thriving. This has been a long but so educational 9 months for me, and I truly hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I leave you now with some final shots. Peace.
It's getting dark now.